everybody. My next guest tonight is a nationally syndicated sports columnist. He can also be seen each week on the Sports Reporters program on ESPN. Please welcome the Lip, Mike Lupica. Mike, there is a ton of stuff to talk about going on in sports, but before we get into all that, what do you think of this Prince Nassim guy?
Somebody's going to bite that man.
Now, it's your, because I watched, I don't know much about boxing, although I'm an amazing fighter in a pinch. I was curious. I mean, he looked pretty good. Is he good? Is he gonna? How's he gonna do Friday?
Well, I think he's going to win, but you know, where did he meet Michael Jackson? In a bar? I mean, how did the Village people miss this guy? Did you see that opening?
He has these. I don't even think people appreciate at home these 20-minute openings he has are Broadway shows. I've never seen anything like that.
No, he'll be good. It'll be good. I mean, anybody who makes you watch boxing, you know, any non-biter is a good thing now in boxing.
Okay. Well, let's move on to an incident that electrified the nation, the Sprewell incident.
Yeah.
Now, what's your take on this?
You can't choke your boss. You know, I mean, you know, the thing you always hear athletes talking about not losing your focus or losing sight of the fundamentals in sport. You can't choke your boss and get away with it. Do you ever want to choke Conan?
Want to?
You can't choke Conan.
Yeah, well.
The band can't choke Max.
No.
There has been some talk about the trombone guy, but you can't.
La Bamba has been choked on many. He's the year 2000 guy. We can't lose him. It's his greatest talent. Come on, Richie, just give us one year 2000. Come on. I've never heard it that quick like that. So what's going to happen? I mean,
I think they're going to uphold the suspension. You know, they had this press conference last week with Johnny Cochran and this, you know, this dream team of lawyers. I thought it was kind of appropriate in this day and age in sports that Luttrell also brought his accountant with him. I mean, he actually brought his accountant with him.
Well, the accountant was going to verify that he's losing a lot of money. That's all. That's all he's there for.
But, you know, Cochran was screaming about due process the other day. If this had happened anywhere except a gymnasium, you know, due process would be trying to plead this down from a felony to a misdemeanor. And I think that when the arbitrator hears the whole case, this is actually...
Is this an isolated incident for Sprewell? They're saying, no, there's a history of this kind of behavior.
Well, he has some priors. He threatened a teammate once with a 2x4.
Okay.
You know...
How do you work a 2x4 into basketball? I'm curious how that...
Yeah, somebody should have been suspicious when he came out for the layup drill carrying one. Yeah,
I'm going to have this with me tonight, but it's not for violent purposes.
And he had some problems with a cop. So he wanted you to think that he's come from the third row of the choir to this one terrible moment. But I think the arbitrator's going to uphold this. You can't reward the guy. If he got traded to a better team, he would get what he wanted in the first place, and you can't let that happen.
Now, 1997, what do you think of the year in sports?
I ended up spending a lot of time on stuff that I didn't really think that I would get
You mean
into.
as a reporter, covering... like
Frank, you know, you start in the spring with Frank Gifford ending up in a hotel room with someone who was not his wife, and getting caught on videotape, which is, you know... I like to go for a long walk after lunch, you know, but Frank went over to this hotel and...
I think Frank's idea is better. I don't know. No, I mean, honestly, you mean long walk or incredible sex?
Burning calories there. Yeah, and then Tyson bites Holyfield.
Right.
Bites him twice.
Which completely weirded out the sports community, right?
Well, he bites him the first time, and the ref says, you know, gee, Mike, we think this is kind of bad form. If you do it again, you're going to get kicked out of the fight. And then he goes ahead and does it again. So now you think you have completely weirded out now. You know, this is weirding out to the max, except then comes the Marv Albert trial in September. And, you know, with everything from singing show tunes with transvestites to... my favorite thing was he goes on Barbara Walters, and they've talked about everything, three-way sex and this and that, and the transvestite and this curious phase that he went through, and then she finally says, I'm going to ask you now questions. It's more embarrassing than anything I've ever asked.
Which is really saying something.
Yeah, I mean, if you watch Barbara Walters before, you're thinking, not so fast, sister. You know,
let us judge.
We'll be the judge of that.
Latest,
and she ends up asking him about his hairpiece. So she thought the issue here was a hair club for men thing. And then after all of that happens, we end up with Latrell Sprewell choking his coach. And then in the week since, one Washington Wizard player has beat up another one, and on Monday Night Football, one football player spit on another one. So it's...
Has this been a good year for you or a bad year for you?
No, I'd rather... You know what I'd rather be talking about? The Jets and the Giants. Now that in one season we've become the football capital of the world.
It's amazing. The turnaround's just incredible.
Last place to first place. The Giants are already in the playoffs. Bill Parcells has got the Jets on the last weekend of the season after being 1-15 last year, going for the playoffs again. And it's, Now,
what's your prediction? They have to, I guess, win or tie.
Yeah,
right?
I think they're going to beat the Lions and make the playoffs on Sunday.
You're going to stand by that?
I think it's one of those seasons.
So Nassim wins, Jets make the playoffs.
Nassim wins, Jets make the playoffs.
Right.
And I think and no more Christmas specials for the Giffords. I think those are my.
Okay, I'm going to hold you to all those predictions. I'm really hoping for the third to come true. I don't care. Your book, Mad as Hell, is out now in paperback. Mike Lupica, thanks so much for coming by and clearing everything up for us. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. Okay, everybody, that's our show tonight. We do want to thank all our guests. Stay tuned for later. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.